Hi guys, how are you all today afternoon? Good afternoon. Today is 15th February 2022. My name is TSV Raghavan and I am a published author with Amazon Kindle and paperback. I write on spiritualism, fiction, and assorted subjects. I have written and published around 35 stories and booklets till now. Today, I wish to share the synopsis of one of my stories with you. Incidentally, I live in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. Now, about the synopsis of my fictional story. The title of the story is Janam Janam phere in Hindi. That means it is a story of reincarnation of a male and a female. Janam Janam phere means you love in one birth and your love continues in the other, hoping that you will be connected to each other in marriage wedlock. This is a story of reincarnation. This story is as follows. There are two soldiers in a battalion in the borders of India. Their names are Malhar Rao Rane and Preetam Singh Kara. They are with a particular battalion which gets into a skirmish with some insurgents. There is a huge gunfight, after which they are able to defeat and kill the insurgents, or they hope they have done so. However, when Mr. Malhar Rao Rane, one of the soldiers, is atop an atoll watching to see if everything is all right, one particular insurgent who is in a bush, hiding behind a bush, shoots him down. Mr. Malhar Rao Rane dies of the gunshot. Meanwhile, his colleague Preetam Singh Kerar becomes distraught and contrite, for he thinks that he is indirectly responsible for the death of Mr. Malhar Rao Rane. After some time, Mr. Preetam Singh Kerar comes back to his home village, where he gets into a brawl with some people and kills down one village head. In this process, Mr. Preetam Singh Kerar becomes a dacoit. This happens in the state of Madhya Pradesh in India, where there is a valley called Chambal. There are many instances of people like Mr. Preetham Singh Kerar going to the Chambal Valley and becoming dacoits. Soon, Mr. Preetham Singh Kerar forms his own gang of like-minded dacoits. They are searched by the police department. Meanwhile, one day, Mr. Preetham Singh Kerar is able to kidnap a complete dancing and drama troupe and take them to the ravines. Though he has kidnapped them and though the whole drama troupe is initially very fearful and wary of this man, the star dancer in that troupe called Champa falls in love with Mr. Preetham Singh Kerar. This is a one-sided love. Mr. Preetham is not in love with her. At the same time, some other guys are besotted with this beautiful young lass who dances very well. However, one day when they are attending a fair, they are ambushed by the police department and the whole gang gets into a fierce gun battle with the police department. In that process, Mr. Preetham Singh Kerar gets wounded. He runs towards a particular cave in the ravine. There, Champa follows him. Mr. Preetham Singh Kerar is on the deathbed. Champa tries to console him to no avail. After some time, Mr. Preetham Singh Kerar, the dacoit, the soldier turned dacoit, dies. When he is dying, he is looking at the face of Champa, and Champa is looking at his face. After some time, Champa also dies. When she dies at the deathbed, she is thinking of Mr. Preetham Singh Kerar. After some time, one girl is born to Mr. Malhar Rao Rane's son. Actually, this man expected a boy, but he got a daughter. Nevertheless, he is very happy to have this child, which is his first, and he names her after his own father as Malhar. Meanwhile, another middle-class family where the wife was very much interested in the fine arts gives birth to a boy called Krishna. Krishna is a child prodigy. He becomes a dancer very soon, and he joins a particular film unit. One day, Krishna and Malhar come face to face. What happens next is the climax of this story. Janam Janam ke phere is a very interesting story where you will know what happens when two souls are reincarnated and they come face to face. What happens when the love between them is rekindled, and what would be the result of such love? Both know the actual identity of the other, but they cannot confess about it to the public, and they are very embarrassed. Kindly read this very interesting story and let me know what you think of it. I assure you that this story is so good that once you start reading it with interest, you will be riveted to the chair. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that I can keep reminding you of my other videos. Till we meet next time in my next video, it is good afternoon from TSV Raghavan.